Trade alert, Titans fans, as Ran Carthon has made a move. We're going to tell you all about this trade details as the Browns and the Titans have agreed to send a 7th-round pick to Cleveland, and the Titans grabbing an offensive lineman. We'll tell you who here in just a moment. We appreciate you joining us here on Titans Today. I'm your host, Jace Andrews, and this is exactly why you should subscribe, because when breaking news happens, guess what? We're the first to put the video out. We're going to be immediately on that, and guess what? We're making sure that you're covered on everything related to the Tennessee Titans all the way 365, no matter what time of year. We got you covered right here. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's go into the actual trade detail. Ari has it saying trade. The Browns have traded offensive tackle Leroy Watson to the #Titans for a 7th-round pick, number 227. That's important because the Titans had 3 3rd or 7th-round picks. Ari then messaged and has an important note here. New Titans offensive line coach Bill Callahan, who is one of the most respected offensive line coaches in the league, worked with Watson in Cleveland, and that's a big connection. Obviously, this was a pretty much Bill Callahan going up to Ran Carthon and saying, hey, let me have my guy. So here's the official details of the trade. Leroy Watson, the offensive tackle, will head to the Tennessee Titans, and the Browns receiving the 7th-round pick, the first of 3 at number 227. Kind of a weird trade here because looking at Leroy Watson and the way he has gone about the league, going undrafted to the Atlanta Falcons, then spent some time with the 49ers after being cut by the Falcons, got cut by the 49ers, went to the Browns, and now here we are, and the Titans make a trade for him. Funny enough, though, this is not the first time the Titans have done something like this. They actually traded with the Panthers 2 years ago, a 7th-round pick for an offensive lineman, Dennis Daly, and ultimately, guess what? Dennis actually started on the offensive line. Now, do I think Leroy Watson will start? Who's to say? I would probably say no. My big thing is it's Bill Callahan going to Ran Carthon saying, hey, I like this guy. I think he's going to be special. Let me get him. Man, well, if that's so, I don't mind it. I want you to grade this trade for me. Just a 1-for-1 little swap here, 7th rounder for Leroy Watson. What do you think? A, B, C, D, or F? A means this was a great trade. B means it was an above average trade. C is average. D is bad. And F is this was a bad trade. Why did they make this? Let me know in the comment section what your grade is for this trade where Leroy Watson ends with the Titans and the Titans give up a 7th-round pick. Let's update you on the picks that the Tennessee Titans now hold, as they still hold those rounds 1 through 5 picks with number 7, number 38, 106, and the 146 for Minnesota's. Round 6, they have their own pick number 182. Round 7, they've got Philadelphia's, which is the Kevin Byard trade, and then the Kansas City's, which is the L'Jarius Sneed trade. So now, instead of 8 picks, they do have 7 picks in total for 2024. The Titans had 3 7th-rounders anyway, and in my mind, at that point, you're looking for guys to hopefully make the practice squad, the guys that hopefully don't get cut. And, well, if you're going to go and trade a pick of those away to get a guy who, 1, your new offensive line coach likes, 2, you have the potential to see something in him, well, hey, may as well go after that instead of probably drafting an offensive tackle in the 7th round that would be lucky to stay on the practice squad for more than over a year. That's just the way I look at it. Obviously, things can change, things can happen, and maybe you hit on somebody in the 7th, but in my mind, if you like him that much, 7th rounder is not that bad. So let's talk about Leroy Watson as a whole and as a player and what he brings to now the Tennessee Titans. As I mentioned, he was an undrafted free agent. He was then signed by the Atlanta Falcons. UTSA Roadrunner. Fun fact, though, he was not an offensive tackle in college. He was actually a tight end. Now, while in the pros, not a lot of experience. However, it's kind of what you expected for a guy that you traded for a 7th-round pick. 50 overall PFF grade and just 55 snaps played in the NFL, a majority of those being at left tackle and right tackle. However, he does have 11 snaps at tight end where he did play in high school and in college. Pass block rating of 47, run block rating of 51. These are not good PFF grades by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that, oh, I mean, these are good. These are good. Like you can see the value in them. No. However, given we know what Bill Callahan is about, given we know how respected he is amongst offensive line gurus in the NFL, there's a reason he wanted him. Do I know that reason? Heck no. Because there's a lot of things in the NFL and the business of the NFL that you just don't understand. And I think in this one, it's an interesting trade. But hey, I'm here for it. It's April, and we're getting news. I'll take it every single day of the week. Let's take a look at the updated offensive line chart as he hops in there. We have Nicholas Petit-Frere, Peter Skoronski, Lloyd Cushenberry, Daniel Brunskill, and Dylan Berduns. He'll hop in here, probably play on the right side, on the left side there. Leroy Watson under Nicholas Petit-Frere. Kind of an interesting way about this because you're assuming that they're probably going to draft Joe Alt, who will play left tackle, to my knowledge. I know that that's what he played in college, and that's where he would probably like to stay. So, obviously, Watson's played both right and left. Majority of his snaps have been left. Maybe he's the backup, and they don't like Jalen Duncan anymore. Duncan did play a couple snaps last year, and I'm not going to say it was bad, but it certainly wasn't what they expected. And so now maybe Leroy Watson is that guy to come in here and be the backup for Joe Alt. And maybe Petit-Frere goes somewhere else. I mean, there's just a couple different things. But obviously, given how bad the offensive line was last year, given there were injuries on top of it, you're trying to make sure that depth-wise, you are solid as solid can be. And hey, I'm not going to complain about that. I do want to go and mention his tight end days because I think that's fun to talk about. He did play tight end at UTSA. Yes, this is Leroy Watson back when he was in college. A little bit of a smaller guy, but hey, not that bad for a guy who now is an offensive tackle. 25 receptions in 19 games in college, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 11.9 on the average for the University of Texas San Antonio. Roadrunners. Hey, got a little Roadrunner left in there. I know you're asking the question, well, did the Titans get him and maybe want him to play tight end? I doubt that's the case. However, I wouldn't mind experimenting. I wouldn't mind seeing that as an option. I wouldn't mind maybe, hey, testing the waters. And so, there's a spot where he could potentially play. This tight end depth charts, I'm not going to say thin, but a lot of people in the NFL like to carry 4 tight ends. I only got 3. Now, I love Okonkwo. I love Wiley. I don't know, though, about how much we trust past that because although I love Chiggy, and I think he is going to be the perfect tight end for the Titans going forward, hey, maybe it would be cool to have him as a tight end come in here and Leroy could potentially make his way. Do I see that happening? Probably not. However, it'd be pretty cool. Would you want him to see? Would you want to see him play tight end in the NFL here with the Tennessee Titans? Type Y for yes if you'd like to see that happening. Type N for no if you think, nah, I'm good. I do not want to see that. Either way, the Titans are not done on the offensive line. I think we can definitely know that for sure because if we think about the way that the Titans have gone about this entire offseason, Sadiq Charles, that's a big one. Lloyd Cushenberry, that's a big one. We know that these guys are making moves in free agency. Obviously, there's now trade for Leroy Watson. How about the offensive lineman in the 2024 NFL draft? We know about Joe Alt, but there's been rumors, there's been talks that if Alt is not there at 7, will they still go tackle? Will they trade back? Rumors are they're going to trade back, but when they trade back, is Olu Fashanu going to be there? Is Fuunga going to be there? Well, we're going to have to wait and find out. These are the 3 guys, though, that I'm trying to get. Honestly, if we get anybody else besides these 3, I'm not going to be as happy. I like J.C. Latham, but Fuunga, Fashanu, Alt. I want those 3. They were the most talented at the combine. They were the most represented in their colleges. They played really well there, and they have really, really good stats. As much as I do enjoy J.C. Latham, and I think he would be a solid portion, given you have the number 7 overall pick, unless you're trading back to like 14, you should get one of those tackles, and that's the way I look at it. One last look here at the trade that the Titans just made with Ran Carthon, sending a 2024 7th-round pick at number 227 to the Browns, and then Leroy Watson heading to the Tennessee Titans. It's an interesting one. Leroy probably was going to be cut to, given I've talked to people around the Browns, probably going to be cut, but hey, it's definitely a Bill Callahan, hey, I want this guy, please give him to me, and so Ran Carthon obliged. Well, that's all I got for you today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because once again, we are putting out content whenever we have these breaking news bits, and it's fun to do it. So we hope you enjoy it as well. You see it flashing in there, youtube.com/Titans today. We really do appreciate you hanging out with us, and we will see you next time, Titans fans. For now, tighten up and peace out.